and I can't fuck with snakes. I ain't all the way back from my people, I pray I was searching for fame. I'm finna turn up and get they ass a taste. I thought I was good, they screaming my name. I'm everywhere like I'm the Chicago way.
All right, so let us know who we got in the Chicago way today.
We have your girl Sisi Dior.
Mm-hmm.
Black Swan.
Black Swan.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Good.
Yeah. Like you been working today. You been rapping?
I was rapping like a little earlier this morning. Like I was in the studio last night up until about 4 in the morning. So I guess.
Well, they say rap is like a little sport. And also like a little workout because depending on how long you do it, you get tired, you gotta think. It's like a little fun game. But it's also a challenge. You would say so?
Yeah, I agree with that. I feel like the more you do it, the better. I mean, I feel like the better you should get, unless you just trash, you know. But I feel like, yeah, it is definitely like a sport. You know, the more you record, the more you locked in, it should definitely increase your talent, you know.
Should at least.
Yeah.
Because you did say should.
Right.
So we're gonna say should for that part. Yeah. Yeah. Welcome to the wave. And there's other interviewers, cameramans, platforms you could have hopped on, but you hopped on ours. So we're more than happy to have you. So thank you for being a part of this.
For sure.
Welcome to the wave. So all right, let's get started. Black Swan. Where you from?
I'm from Maywood.
Maywood?
Yeah. It's a west suburb.
A west suburb.
Right outside of Chicago.
Right outside of Chicago.
Like 10 minutes away.
So would you say you're from Chicago?
Oh, yeah, because, I mean, I lived in Chicago, too, for some years, so, you know. And then I feel like, too, like a lot of people that's in Maywood, that live in Maywood, a lot of people come from Chicago, so it's like a part of out west, you know.
A part of out west?
Yeah, it's like an extended part of out west.
So Maywood's like the out west cousins?
Yeah, exactly.
Alright, so... Alright, so anyone from Maywood watching this, what's up, cuz?
Nah, it's for real.
But, see, I don't got much experience in Maywood, so... And I'm pretty sure a lot of people who is from Chicago and not from out west don't understand what it's like being from Maywood either, so... But they might hear things here and there, so... What was it like growing up there for you?
It's like, you know, it sounds like a suburb. It is a suburb. That's what they say. That's on paper. That is a suburb, but it's not like pretty. You know, it definitely. I grew up. It was fun, but it's definitely. I lost friends. You know, I lost family members. I've been, like, my sister, she almost got grazed in the head by, like, drive-by. Like, it was, like, real, like, rowdy out there, you know? Yeah, and it's only 21 blocks, but it's, like, every game in 21 blocks, so.
Sheesh.
Yeah, so.
They right next to each other?
Yeah, like, you got the BDs up the street, you got the Folds right down the street, the GDs a couple blocks up, you know, like.
You make it sound like a 63rd or O Block situation.
Yeah, it's kind of, that's what it was, but it's just in Maywood, it's just in the suburbs.
So they all, like, that close? Like, you could just walk over them?
Yeah. It's just, like, you cross a certain street, you in a certain territory.
For the west suburbs, it sounds a little treacherous.
It is true. Well, the nickname for Maywood is Murderwood.
Oh, that's a nickname.
Yeah.
Murderwood.
Yeah, it's nothing to be proud of, but it's definitely, yeah, they definitely put a lot of work in.
So would you say Murderwood isn't something to be proud of, like how Chirac isn't?
Yeah, exactly. It's nothing to be proud of, but it's what goes on, you know?
All right. I really just learned something right now. I had never heard of Murderwood until today. So
Really?
you just introduced me a little bit to some Maywood culture.
You do your history. It's a lot of unsolved murders out there, for sure.
And I have posted Maywood R's before. Shout out 700 Legend on Instagram. I'm going to put you on to him later. But he's someone I promoted
from
time to.
Maywood?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Heavy representative, if you ask me. Yeah. But that's for another time. But back to you, Sisi. So, how old were you when you spat your first rhyme?
I think I was probably like 10, maybe 11 or something like that.
You said probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So what grade were you in when you started rapping?
Well, it was in the summertime, so it was in between going to a certain grade. I think it was like maybe the fifth or sixth grade, one of those. I think it's the 5th grade.
All right, that's a fair answer. That's a fair answer. So, in between summertime of graduating 5th grade, transitioning to 6th grade.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's a nice way of saying it.
Like
all
me and
right.
my friends, we thought we was gonna be in a group. We thought we was like
Dogs.
TLC or some shit. I thought I was left out, you know. So of course I had to be the rapper of the group. So that I wrote my first rhyme.
All right, your first rhyme. Mm-hmm. So would you say that's what led you to start rapping?
I always loved music, you know. Like I always been a music person. I halfway grew up in the church. Like when my father and my mother was together. They used to. My mother was a church going woman, and my father was too. So they had me in church. So I ain't, you know, not to be shady, but I ain't really used to pay that much attention to the preacher. But I used to love the band and the choir and the drums and like the music that was going on in the church. Like that always like drew my attention. So I always just been like a music person, regardless.
All right, and you say church, so Christian or Muslim?
Baptist Christian.
Alright. And the reason why I ask is because currently in Chicago, and I like to thank Tay Savage for this, but it's been a lot of heavy influence on the Muslim religion. So I just wanted to, like, when people say, sometimes people don't know when you say God, there's other religions may have a different perspective on who God is. So
that's true.
It's like, when I ask, and mostly in Chicago, it's either Christians or Muslims, to my knowledge at least. So I just want to get that cleared out. But as far as growing up in church and everything, so you say you're a Baptist Christian and everything, so it's like, where does God stand in your life?
I believe that it's a higher power, but I'm not one of those like super religious people, you know. It was things that happened to me in the past where I just was like, I don't really know if like it's a God for real, you know. I know that sounds crazy, but it is what it is.
Have you talked with your religious? Well, I don't want to speak and label them, but you would label your parents religious, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, have you ever talked to them about questioning your faith?
Well, my mom's not here, so I can't talk to her. You know.
Not here, as in.
She's passed away.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's not here, and my father. I don't want to talk to him about that. Me and him probably get into it for real. Type stuff. Yeah.
Sorry for the loss of your mom. How long ago was it? If you remember.
Years ago. It's been at least she died in '98. So.
Dang.
Yeah.
Well. To this day, well, before or after the passing, I'm pretty sure you would say she supports you with everything you do, right?
Yeah, definitely. She the one that gave me my nickname, Sisi.
Oh, is that so?
Yeah, that's why I kept it.
Oh.
That's why I kept Sisi. She the one that nicknamed me Sisi.
So that's kind of like a way of keeping her name alive, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And as far, are you comfortable with talking about your mother?
That's fine.
Okay, well, as far as your mother, and would you say that like she's the life of the party? And when I say life of the party, I mean like got a nice crowd around her, good friends that she can say she trusts and say love and care about her.
My mom she was definitely a cool individual. You know, nobody never said nothing bad about it. Like. Her nickname was Pee Wee, and me and her, we looked a lot alike, even though, like, I was the little mini version of her. So when I go around, like, her family and her friends, like, people who knew her, they'd be like, oh, my God, y'all look just alike. And they're just to tell stories of, like, how my mama, like, did certain things. Like, my mama always went above and beyond in whatever she did, you know. She'd get a shirt off her back. Like, I remember one time, some dude, like, he got hit by a train. And she had just bought, like, some new towels. She was walking from the store, and she had to, like, put the pressure, like, she saved him, basically. Like, she was there at the right time to save him and whatever. Like, she used to just do stuff like that. Like, she was a really, really nice lady.
So, would you say she was probably aiming to be a doctor around those times?
She always wanted me to be a nurse, but she never ever told me what she wanted to do. She had 3 kids, you know, and back around that time, you know, it's kind of a struggle when you have that many kids. Like, you may have a dream and an aspiration to do things, but if you're not in the right situation or if you're not around the right environment, it's not really gonna, you know, make you want to do it. So I won't say that she got the opportunity to do that.
Oh, well.
She did graduate high school, but like she didn't go to college, stuff like that. But she wanted me to be a nurse. Like, she used to always tell me that, like, be a nurse. And I'm just in my head, like, I don't want to be an artist. I never told her that. But
you never told her.
I never told her that. But in my head, when she used to be like, you should be a nurse, I'm just like, that ain't what I want to do, you know?
Oh.
I just do that. Like, just growing up as a kid, I know I don't want to be no nurse. But I do feel like I am a nurse, though. But, like, not a nurse as far as, like, what's at the hospital. But, like, if somebody's sick, I know how to make certain, like, concoctions and stuff like that to help people.
So you could save someone's life if given the opportunity.
I don't know about that. I'll try.
Hey, I was putting it out there because some people say nurses can save lives better than doctors can. So I'm just throwing it out there.
If a person was sick, I know how to make certain concoctions, like certain teas and stuff, like herbal teas, and like mix certain herbs and spices up to like get rid of that illness, like that, stuff like that.
Okay. Well, you mentioned having siblings, and at least I want to say so because you said your mother did have 3 kids, if I'm not mistaken. So, you happen to be the oldest?
I'm the middle child.
Oh, middle child.
Yeah. Like
So,
J. Cole.
Shout out J. Cole.
Shout out J. Cole, right.
A lot of people need to start listening and looking up to him. But that's a different topic for a different day. Miss Middle Child, if you don't mind. How are your siblings taking? Are they still in your life?
My sister is.
Oh, well, as far as her, well, how does she still lives life? Because you say your mother passed in 98, so it's like, and it's 2023, so it's like,
that's a long time ago, right?
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's not easy to still live on and deal with as time goes on. So
you know, it gets hard, especially around like certain holidays. You know, birthdays, Christmas, Mother's Days. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah. So
times where you should be spending time with your mom and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's when it be hard. But besides that, you know, you just gotta keep living, because if you don't, then it's like you just can't waste away. You know, I be feeling like when people passed away, you shouldn't try to waste away with them. You know, they don't want to be where they at. So, like, why would you, like, be still here on earth wasting away because of, like, you missing, like, you, it's okay to grieve, but, you know, you can't die with that person. You know, that's what I feel like.
Makes sense.
Yeah, some people die with certain people, and I don't agree with that. But my sister, she posts on like social media sometimes that she misses her mother, you know. So I know that she definitely, and she was more of a mother's girl because she was the baby. You know how babies are. So, and she was really young when she passed away. So I won't say that she takes it hard every day, but I do think that she is more affected than I am.
Is there any point in time where the whole family can just come together in remembrance and honor of her?
Me and my sister.
Well, how long has it been? Ever since then, or how long, or a short amount of time than that?
What you mean?
Like, how long has it always been just you and your sister coming together?
Well, me and my brother, we had a difference. You know, some years back that he still hasn't apologized for it. So until he does, then we won't talk. So we haven't spoke for like 4 years now.
Well, would you? I'm pretty sure. From what it sounds like, you said he still hasn't apologized for it. So like, but so do you? What I basically want to ask is, do you feel like, even no matter how, even if it's 12 more years from now, like, would you still be open to just talking to him or reaching out to him first? Because like, who knows if maybe he thinks you might not want to hear an apology from him.
I have a forgiving heart. I do have a forgiving heart. I've had friends that I haven't talked to for like 5 years, and we just like got back cool, long as it's like ain't no death involved, or like you ain't over like put my business out there, or, like do some weird, like something super weird, like steal from me or something. Like we could always like words and stuff like that. That's minor in my opinion. Like I'm grown as hell, so it's like words is minor as hell. If it wasn't no bloodshed, if nobody got hurt, and it wasn't nothing super serious, I'm always open for like apology or like calling it a truce. But I just feel like as far as with my brother, he did something to like my cousin, which we were all really close, and he was trying his hardest to apologize to her. Like trying to hit me up, trying to get them to like link so that he could tell her how he feel. And I just feel like the energy not the same for me, and like I'm your sister, And I took you, and I got you out of a jam, and he know the jam that I got him out of. I ain't gonna overspread it.
Yeah, I wouldn't want you to be putting too much.
Yeah, exactly. Like I ain't gonna overspread it, but I got him out of a jam, and he know the jam that I got him out of. But I'm not one of those people that talk about something that I do, like I did this just to throw it in your face. So it's not that, but it hurt my feelings, So it's like my feelings kind of hurt behind it. So hopefully if he hear it, I'm always open for an apology. I definitely don't feel like I'm the one that should apologize because I ain't do anything in that situation. So.
I mean, true. Well, like in most family situations like that, it's like. I understand where you're coming from, and I'm glad you said that words is minor, because in Chicago people take words to the extreme.
Yeah.
And that's a very horrible, disgusting flaw of the city. And maybe not even just in Chicago. It's probably something that goes on in every other city. But yeah, a lot of people take words to the heart, and I'm just glad to hear that you don't. But overall, overall, I'm glad to hear that you're willing to reconnect. Because if there's one, I'm not going. It's about you, not me. Why am I talking like that? But overall, as far as this goes, the whole family can still reunite and rekindle if everything comes together, right?
Yeah, I'm always open to that. I'm not one of those people that like to be separated from people that I care about. So I've never been that type. Yeah. I've always been a togetherness, and like I feel like to be unified is to be stronger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, in closing out this discussion, remember, if there's one childhood memory or memory in general or lesson you learned, or anything positive about her that you learned from over the years that you will always cherish forever and the whole world can know about it, what would it be?
My mama used to always drop gems, and she just always told me not to trust like certain men and boys. Like she was just like, they gonna tell you what you want to hear to get what they want out of you, and like it always stuck with me. Yeah.
Well, as a man, and speaking for men, sometimes it works the other way around. But that's a whole debate for a whole different day. We ain't gonna talk about that. But overall, I like to give my condolences. Well, even though this is long ago, this is not something that's easy to just brush off your shoulders. So
right.
I still like to send my condolences and prayers for you and your family.
Thank you.
And rest in peace to Pee Wee, was it?
Yeah.
Rest in peace to Pee Wee. Just being sincere here, and honestly, I'm not making a joke out of it or anything, just in case anyone wants to say something in the comments or something like that. But all right,
I feel like it was sincere.
Yeah, I try to. Some people bloggers is often put in the wrong direction, and they see all the known bloggers do this, and they like to throw me under that category. So and the thing is, I try to show everybody, and people don't get it sometimes. So I just gotta make some things clear sometimes.
They always just got something to say, right?
Yeah, and it's like, bro, if you niggas was bloggers, you would understand half the shit I go through trying to do this shit for y'all. But this ain't about me. This is about Sisi. So I'll talk about me a different day.
Okay.
I'll probably have to edit that out, but I'll see. All right. Back to you, Sisi. This is something I've learned recently. And I think I did deep enough research, but I'm still let you talk about it, is you've literally been around legends. Like, not no fabricated. The whole world know who these people are, and they done legendary things, so they're considered legends. And one of those legends happened to be Speaker Knockerz. And I was surprised as fuck when I found out about that, because it's like, damn, Speaker Knockerz?
Yeah.
Like, and it's crazy because nowadays, I mean, the blogs do keep his name alive, but you don't hear people who supposedly, to my knowledge at least, people who's around him speak on him as much. So, you did have a few songs with him back in the days. And first off, how did you get introduced to Speaker Knockerz?
Around that time, it was just like Chicago was on fire, you know. This was like 2013 or something. So, you know, this is right after 2012, you know, with the big explosion of Chicago musicians, you know.
Thank you, Chief Keef.
Right, the Chief Keefs, the, you know, King Louis, and everybody was just like super hot at that time. And, like, the bop music was super hot too. And Speaker Knockerz had a cool sound that it sounded like he was from Chicago, but he wasn't, you know. He's actually he was born in New York, but like he was from Carolina. So he had some cool songs, and I had did this one song, and the engineer that I was working with at the time, his name is Smitty. We was talking, I'm like, man, I wish I could get like Speaker Knockerz on this. And he was just like, I got a connection. And I'm like, you for real? He like, yeah. He was like, I can hit this person up and we can make it happen. I'm like, all right, well, just let me know, you know. Let me know like what they want, like how we can get it done. And they made it happen. You know, he liked the song. They sent it to Speaker Knockerz. He liked it. He hopped on it. The turnaround was like next day type thing. And he jumped on the record.
So clearly you met him in person as well, even though you got two and do connections and everything. So what was he like as a person to you?
Well, you know, the crazy thing about it is I didn't get to meet him because he passed away before we got to actually do, like, link. Yeah.
Huh. Well,
I met his parents. I met his brother. I met his family. I never got a chance to meet him.
Oh, well, did you ever get a chance to talk to him, speak to him like that?
Nope.
So there's this magical track that just happened. Okay, well, it's still a great song, and it's still something good. So, but you said you didn't meet him or anything like that. But I'm still certain that working with him in a way does count. So when he passed, did it affect you in any way?
It did, because I knew how talented he was, you know, and I know where he could have been. Like, I still hear his sound in a lot of these new artists right now, you know. So he definitely made an impact for the time that he was here. Because he was a producer too. So even like his sound, his production, and like just his style of how he manipulated auto-tune and like made party vibes and stuff like that, I feel like that's still like people use his essence in their music, you know. So I definitely feel like he's still like his music, like he's still.
And you want to know something that people often don't talk about nowadays, even though this did happen and it was something that was on blogs?
What?
There is a rapper by the name of Lil Pump, and he came out with a snippet that totally backfired. He made something that sound almost exactly like Lonely, and he made his own little version to it. Did you ever hear it?
I never heard that. No.
You never heard it?
No.
Oh, would you like for me to play it for you?
Sure.
like, in all seriousness, Lil Pump literally came out with his own Lonely song. This was like 2 years ago in 2021. Like right after the COVID pandemic had a little bit of its solution and it died down a little bit. Let me play this for you.
I'ma take her 30 so I OD. I just counted $1 million by my lonely. Now I got a lot of niggas bitches on me. Balenciaga step and mix it with Givenchy. I'ma take her 30 so I OD. I just
Yeah.
And you said it backfired?
It backfired because everybody who was a Speaker Knockerz fan did not like that. He basically was finna drop it that same day. But the fans were so felt so disrespected that he did his own version of Lonely, and it felt like he should have given him credit for it. It was just so disrespectful. Like, literally took his whole flow, his whole sound, and everything that came with it, and they made him delete the whole. Like, he had a music video for it and everything. Delete the whole video, delete the snippet, took it off his Instagram. Never talked about it again. So to this day, Lil Pump has not dropped that song.
Yeah,
but there is still fans who's trying to find every snippet they can and put it together and make it seem like it's a song and put it on YouTube. So,
I'm gonna be honest. It didn't sound bad to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it don't sound bad.
It sounded like something that he probably should have put out.
Yes, considering. First off, yes, they would bring up Speaker Knockerz, keep his name alive at that time. Bring Lil Pump back in the game in a way. Mm-hmm. And people would have had, pros and cons to it, but it's not like it would have been that bad.
And it sounded decent to me.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they could say, like, oh, he didn't mention him, and don't matter. His family, they smart. They was gonna get paid regardless. So,
yes,
it didn't matter. Yeah, exactly. So it didn't matter if he mentioned his name or not. It was no way he could put that out without them getting paid. So, I think he should have put it out, honestly.
Yeah. But overall, as far as this song, if he was to have put it out, do you think that would have been the best move for everybody? Not just Lil Pump, but Lil Pump's career, Speaker Knockerz' name, and his family, getting the acknowledgement from this.
Yeah, it would have depended on how the video was, cause sometimes his videos be looking crazy. Like, he be having like the big body, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he like big,
shout out Cole Bennett,
big box person and shit. Like,
yeah, but yeah. Yeah, shout out Lil Pump though, cause I actually personally wish that song was out, because if that song was out, I would be playing it every day and there would be nothing you could tell me.
It low key sounded decent though, for real.
Sounded decent.
I fucked with it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I rock with it. I'm sorry, probably shouldn't be cursing. I rock with it. The beat, it was sped up. It sounded cool, and it's definitely would have kept Speaker Knockerz' name alive. So yeah.
Yeah.
Like, nobody had a problem when Kevin Gates did it.
Kevin Gates did it?
Kevin Gates did something like that. Yeah. So it was like, y'all didn't have a problem when he did it. So
I gotta do my homework on that.
Yeah, Kevin. Because I seen Speaker Knockerz' mama had reposted it. I think it was something with that lonely stuff too. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was that lonely song too. Like. And then some other, like, artists from Carolina did it, too. Like, they be going and, like, I don't know. I think it was just because it was Lil Pump, and,
Yeah.
Sometimes you got that one person that everybody want to hate,
Yeah. And when it comes down to Chicago, it's a lot of people that people just hate for no reason.
Yeah, it's like why
even if they try to do good, it's like, nah.
Yeah, they just, like, once people hate you, and you could jump on a hate train with it's just like, they gonna do it, so. Maybe that's what it was.
Well, as far as Speaker Knockerz, would you say that the people who knew him, I mean, not just his family, like friends or people who claim they're close to him, do you feel like they're doing a good job keeping his name alive?
His father and his mother is,
So just the family is doing a good job keeping his name alive?
Yeah, I don't really know nobody else that's really doing anything to keep his name alive. I haven't really heard of anything. I don't see like tribute shows or like Speaker Knockerz Day or nothing like that. Like that ain't nothing that I see. Do you? Do you be seeing stuff like that?
Not at all. That's
right,
why I
like on his
asked.
birthday.
Like the last I seen with someone keeping his name alive was his mother doing an interview with Drea O. Shout out to you, Drea O. You my dog. And they basically speaking on Speaker Knockerz and all, and how the family doing, of course. Well, last question in regards to Speaker Knockerz. Is there anything positive that you would like to say about him, or towards his family, or anyone, or even the Speaker Knockerz fans, or anything in regards to Speaker Knockerz? Anything positive you would like to say?
Yeah, like I said before, I feel like he definitely influenced hip hop. Nobody could ever take that away from him. The way he manipulated auto tune and the way he put tracks together, his production, some of the bass that he put on his tracks and stuff like that is what people still use to this day. I think that is super cool. He's a legend in his own. He's forever young. Like he passed away at a young age. He's forever young. His parents, shout out Miss Knockerz. She's a really nice lady. Very smart businesswoman, and she has some really, really good cakes. Like, if you ever go down to Carolina, she has her own bakery. It's her food, her cake's so good. Like, cake, pie, whatever. Like, she gets down.
You know the name of this cake restaurant?
I believe it's called Misha's Cakes or something like that. But don't overquote me.
Okay, I will.
But
I'll do my own research at this point.
I
I gotta
believe
do
it's
some research on it.
Misha's Cake, something like that. But her cakes is really good.
Well, with that being said, rest in peace to the legend Speaker Knockerz. Legend in hip hop, loved by many, and hated by none, if you ask me, because I don't see no Speaker Knockerz haters. But rest in peace to Speaker Knockerz. I'm going to switch gears on you for a second with an interview segment. And for those who still may not get the picture here, when it comes down to the Chicago wave of interviews, yes, we like to interview the artists. But we like to ask questions that we can ask anyone else, so that way this could be like a fun thing to talk about. And on top of that, everybody can have their say-so on these type of questions that I'm about to ask. So, Miss Sisi, I'm about to hit you with a segment. And I like to call this Pain Never Looked This Good.
Pain never looked this good?
Yep.
Okay.
So, first off, are you a fan of Anne-Marie? You know what? Let me not say something that's gonna potentially start something. Do you listen to any song, or have you heard any song by Anne-Marie? From Chicago.
I know. Not really.
Did you at least hear that song she got with G Herbo?
No.
Stress? Oh my good. You know what? Okay.
But I think that she's dope though. I just like, okay, I'm gonna be honest. Like especially when I'm in when I'm in project mode, like I don't really listen to R&B and rap and urban music at all. Like,
understandable.
I don't know. That's probably kind of odd because it's like
no, there's a lot of rappers have told me this before, so it's like rapper mode. Like Lil Wayne himself said when he's to be honest, Lil Wayne don't keep up with shit nowadays.
He be under a rock, don't he?
Yeah, he don't keep up with shit.
He okay with being under a rock.
Yeah, but
no shade to her though. I think she's super dope. I think
Yeah.
she's super dope. I like what she got going on and stuff like that. I just never the people that I be around, they don't really play her music. Y'all be honest.
Well, as an Anne-Marie fan, y'all gotta do better. But we not gonna put no personal opinions on this.
Right.
Anyways, the reason why I brought up Anne-Marie is because she got a song titled "Pain Never Looked This Good." And shout out to you, Anne-Marie, because you are a big inspiration on this question and a big influence on how I look at female rappers nowadays. Now, she dropped a music video to her song "Pain Never Looked This Good," and first off, I'm pretty sure anybody, male or female, can agree with me when I say Anne-Marie is a talented singer, beautiful woman, someone that stands on morals and beliefs, self-respect, and all things like it pertains to her and her beauty and her talent and her craft and music.
Right.
Now, in this music video, first off, the reason why I named the segment of this because I watched her music video, and it seemed like she had more of a storyline. See, when it comes down to Anne-Marie, at least for me, I pictured her as, first off, she is beautiful and very talented. So it's like, you wouldn't think that, and she from Chicago, but you wouldn't think that she went through a lot of shit that the niggas be talking about. But when I watched her video, I learned something deep. Like, growing up, like, it seemed like she like, I remember was dating had abusive boyfriend. She had a kid grab a knife, about to get ready to stab him, just to help defend her mother. And as she got older, she got into arguments with her mother. She got kicked out, and she went through a whole lot of trials and tribulations just to become the woman she is today. And thing is, I'm looking at it like, damn, Anne-Marie, you had it that hard? And it's like, when I sit and think about it, like, this is something I genuinely took time to think about. It's so many women out there that is very beautiful indeed. But because we live in a male-dominant society, and me as a male, and I'm pretty sure I can speak for any other male, we can look at and I learned this from watching the 600 Breezy interview too. We look at a woman off from time to time, and just because we admire her beauty, we don't think she's been through shit. We thinking she's gonna be the nurturer, the caregiver, and all of this for a woman, but what about for her? Do you think this woman went through shit too? You think niggas the only one who go through problems?
Right.
You think males the only ones who say they been through some shit and niggas gotta respect them for that?
That's why they say the pretty girls are crazy.
Yeah. Some.
Cause we got some screws loose, but it's because, like you said, we don't look like what we went through.
Exactly.
But that just don't mean that we ain't went through it, just because we don't look like that. Cause some people let it get to them. Like I was saying, you remember I was just saying, like, how people like pretty much die with certain people, like they just let themselves go, you know, like,
yeah, what you were speaking on earlier in this interview.
Yeah, exactly, like how people just let themselves go with a certain situation, whether it's death or whether it's like just something tragic that happened to them, they just let themselves go. Either you have some people who like stronger and just is like, I'm not gonna succumb to that, but that doesn't mean that I don't have things that I go through. So I think that that's actually cool. I'm gonna check that video out.
Yeah, like I strongly recommend you and anyone else check that video out.
Yeah.
So on to the questions for me bringing all this shit up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I actually have 3 different questions that you can answer, but I'm gonna go one by one. Well, as far as you, I'm pretty sure you can say that. We all can say that you are indeed a beautiful woman.
Thank
but
you.
at the same time, you're welcome. But at the same time, just because you're beautiful doesn't mean you haven't lived a life that people can't possibly imagine about you, if that makes sense.
That's true.
So, have you, first off, before I ask these questions, I'm going to ask another question. Have you ever been, by anyone, have anyone ever told you that even though you're beautiful and all that, I would never think that, or at least want you to have gone through some bullshit in the past type shit? Okay, basically, has anyone ever told you that you're so pretty that they would have never guessed that you went through X, Y, and Z?
I think a lot of people don't even understand what I went through because I don't bring it up, you know? Like, I don't really talk about it that much. If you really, really, really close to me, then you may know, you know, about, like, certain things that has happened to me, but that's not nothing like, that's not going to be, like, one of the first things I'm telling people like that.
Yeah, so,
yeah, a lot of people don't know half of, like, my life or what I went through.
And that's why we got this Pain Never Look This Good segment.
Yeah.
So, I'd like to ask you, if you're comfortable talking, of course.
That's fine.
Is there anything traumatic that you may have happened to you in the past that still haunts you to this day?
Yeah.
Are you comfortable with talking about
I can't talk about that situation, but I could talk about other situations where it's really been like, I just felt, I don't know, like you ever like cared about people, right? And then just felt like just betrayed out of nowhere. Like, and these people like you would have never thought though, would have did that to you. So I definitely, that's traumatic. And people may not look at it like that, but that's traumatic when you day to day with somebody and like you rocking with them and they telling you they love you, you telling them you love them, not even on no sexual stuff. I'm just saying like these is just like your friends, right? Like y'all click tight And then, like, certain things happen where y'all just start to separate, and you just notice that people just acting, like, really, really standoffish and weird. And it hurt, you know, because it's like, dang, I thought, like, we was, like, better than that, you know? And then to do it without no explanation or to treat you like shit when you ain't do nothing to them, it makes you feel some type of way. That's traumatic because if it's anything that you can't get a closure out of, to me, that's traumatic, you know? And I definitely haven't gotten closure out of certain situations that has happened to me in the past with certain people.
So, would you say you may suffer from betrayal trauma?
Yeah, like betrayal trauma, like all types of stuff, but for sure, like people stealing from you and stuff like that, you know, just like really doing you dirty. Like, I've definitely been done dirty for sure.
Well, have you ever been discriminated by society for wanting to do this or that, but because you're a woman, they still want you to live by the average stereotypes they give a woman?
I feel like I get discriminated every day. Like, I feel like people discriminate against me every day, you know. My mom passed away from breast cancer, and I didn't want to bring her back up, but she did. So I like, if you go on my page, you might see like sometimes when I be dressing, like, you know, you might see a little extra going on all up in here, but that's because I love myself, you know, and I saw what she went through when she had to get surgery and when she had to lose one of her breasts, and like how it emotionally messed her up, you know. So I love myself, I love my breasts, and if somebody have a problem with seeing them, then they can get off my page, you know. That's how I feel. So yeah, I definitely been discriminated. Sometimes I be feeling like I be too good, like I done walked in rooms, like being a songwriter, I done walked in rooms and made a song too fast. Then I started getting treated like shit. It's like, how you treat me?
That makes no sense.
How you
Especially
treat
for
me
the rap
crazy
games,
because
yeah.
I made the song too fast? Like,
That makes no sense, because like that's actually a sign of talent,
right? Like, you would think that they would want to like kind of like.
And we'll also get into the songwriting set part for you later on. I got some specific questions about that.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I be feeling like I be discriminated against all the time. Like, people think they know you just because you may carry yourself a certain way and stuff like that.
Well, and the last question I'm gonna ask in regards to this segment, do you feel like just because people see you smiling and happy that they wouldn't understand the struggles that you go through as a woman?
Yeah, for sure. If you don't say anything, and like I said, like if you're not showing it, or if you don't say anything about your struggles, people don't know that you're struggling. You know, like, you could be, when you go home, have nothing in the fridge. You know, but you could probably make a video looking pretty as hell, like, you know, face beat, outfit and on, like, but nothing in the fridge. Like, you didn't even eat for the night. Like, nobody will know unless you told them that you know that you was hungry or something like that. I'm the type of person, for sure. I'm not the type of person that tell people, like, if I'm like got a struggle or something, I'm not one of those people that's gonna run to the next person and be like, hey, you know, you think like I could borrow some money? I need to get a sandwich or something. Like, I'm gonna try to make it happen some type of way, or I'm gonna go to sleep starving. Like, that's just me though. I don't know why I'm like that. That's just how I am though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, overall, despite everything that you may have went through in the past, or did go through, or have experienced from other people and everything, you still don't let it break you down. Which is why, even though you went through all that, you still look good. And pain don't look this good.
I like that.
Yeah, for sure.
I appreciate that.
But even though the pain looks good, don't never look this good, we still got some looks that can be deceiving. Which is why in my next segment that I'm going to hit you with, I call it Looks Can Be Deceiving. It's still a little bit on to the last segment, but it's a little different.
Okay.
So, my question for you is, because we live in a world where women like you are indeed beautiful, they can just assume that they know them just because and think they know what they're like because they're beautiful based off that. Like, because like some men and women, not just men, they can look at a woman, assume because she beautiful and everything, they think they got an idea of who she is as a person, which is why I brought up the last segment.
Right.
So we're gonna break it down a little bit more clearer in this segment. So, do you feel like just because you are indeed beautiful, that people can have an idea of who you are? Yes or no?
No.
All right. Since the answer is no, why do people think they can tell who you like not necessarily tell who you are, but think they can tell you who you are?
Right.
When they only say that because they think you're pretty and can see that you are, but they look at you and think, oh yeah, just because she's pretty and anything, I know who she is, and I can tell her who she is, type shit.
I feel like everybody like try to classify people, you know, just like the people that they feel is ugly, they probably feel like. You know what I'm saying?
So
like,
it's not even just about being pretty or beautiful, or not even just about you. This for everybody in general.
Yeah, it's like I think everybody gets classified. You know, they look at you like, okay, so say for instance, somebody like even a guy or even a female, somebody could walk in a room, right? They got on a hoodie, but they got lint balls all over it. Automatically, they not gonna get no respect as soon as they walk up in there, you know, because people gonna be like, man, they gotta be broke, they dusty as hell, like, you know, they just gonna instantly judge and classify them as they feel like they done went through something, they struggling right now, right? But they could be the richest person in the room though. You know, who's to say?
Hey, you see what J. Cole be dressing like nowadays,
right? And like Jay-Z, like, you know, and all like a lot of different billionaires, like they dress how they want to dress. I know a lot of people who dress down, but they be having more money. They be having the most money in the room, you know. But they might have on New Balances with some cargo shorts on and a polo shirt, and like people will look right past them. But as soon as we go to the club, they buying 20 bottles in a club in Miami. Like, that's not cheap, you know.
Trust me.
And we not even drinking about it. Like, I done been around people like this, so I don't judge people, but I get what you mean. Like, it's just a judgmental society. That's all, and like it's just a lot of classification. So yeah, everybody feel like this is what the pretty girls do. This is how the pretty girls drink. This is what the pretty girls eat. Like, this is who the pretty girls date. You know, they just think that they know, but they really don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, even though paint never looked this good, don't think shit's sweet, because looks can be deceiving. You don't know who Sisi Dior is until she tells you.
That's true.
For sure. But alright, enough of all that shit. Let's have some fun.
Okay.
Now, would you rather do your research or your homework?
My research.
Alright, I'm glad you said that, because I got this next segment for you. Okay. And I like to call this Lil Reese's Research. You know who Lil Reese is, right?
Yeah, I know.
You better know who that is. You ain't know who Anne Marie was, so you better know who
I knew who she was. I just didn't really hear her music like that, you know.
Okay,
I feel bad.
Well,
don't make me feel bad.
I apologize, Anne Marie. Yeah. But shout out to you, Lil Reese. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be able to come up with this segment.
They call him the Grim Reaper, right?
The Grim Reaper, huh?
Mm-hmm.
They do hit different. You scared of the Grim Reaper?
Mm-mm.
Better not be. Alright, now, in this segment, Lil Reese's Research, you know, Lil Reese, he be doing interviews recently, and he don't know shit. So it's like, every time you ask him a question, you gotta be like, oh damn, I gotta do some research on that shit. I don't know about it. So, that being said, I think people shouldn't be getting on his ass for not knowing what's going on. Because there's plenty of people who say they know what's going on, but they don't.
Right.
So with that being said, Mrs. Dior, I'm going to ask you about various topics. Ooh. And if you don't know about it, you just got to say, I got to do some research.
Okay.
So, alright, you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Alright. When Blazing Doll found out FYB J-Mane was homeless, she said he could never sleep on her couch.
I gotta do some research on that. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do your research.
Yeah.
Alright.
I just keep hearing that man name. That man name be just floating all
we're gonna talk a little bit more about him later.
Okay.
Queen Keef's dog was stolen, and then she got the dog back and threatened to get the girl who stole it arrested for 10 years.
I gotta do some research. I don't know nothing about that.
You gotta do your research. Do your research. All right. When Cuban Dog got her sex tape leaked, the dude who was recording while smashing was said to be GBE Tato, who is also known as Chief Keef's homie.
I feel like, what can I speak on? I can't speak on it. I feel like I know that.
Do you gotta do your research?
I do.
Then that's all you gotta
I
say.
know they dealt with each other, but I don't know.
Oh, so you know a little bit about that
I know
situation.
they dealt with each other because, him and...
Alright, so you tell me you don't have to do the research. In a way.
Him and 6ix9ine was beefing.
Lose this number, shorty. I kill people.
Right, yeah, I kill people.
Yeah, you was funny for that, Tato.
I remember that, yeah.
Alright.
So that sounds like that could probably be true.
That is true.
Okay.
You could literally search yourself. I'm not encouraging you to do so, and I'm not implying anything, but yeah. Billionaire Black's legs were broken recently, and FYB J-Mane played as a doctor and gave him a box of his Whoop cereal to make him feel better and walk again.
That can't be true.
Go on his page. You gotta do your research. Do your research on Billionaire Black
When
getting
he
his
got
legs
his,
broken.
I feel like, okay, that probably happened, but the cereal part, that happened too.
He did it. Basically, he made a skit trying to promote his Whoops and say these Whoops can fix your legs. You know how Red Bull gives you wings? The Whoops can fix your legs.
I'm done.
According
I gotta
to
do my
J-Man.
research on that.
Do your fucking research,
Damn,
Sisi.
where I been at?
Now, when Kodak Black came home from jail and took his first pictures, or something like that, I mean, I'll be 100% accurate on this. Kayla B left a comment saying, "It's him for me," with heart eye emojis.
I'm gonna do my research on that, but I ain't gonna lie, that sound like that could have been something that she did though.
She did do that.
Yeah.
And I know this because on a blog site on a blog page on Instagram, Street Juice TV, he would be the one who posted this shit, but he the one who found this shit, screenshotted her comment, and used a picture of Kodak and Kayla and made a crazy ass headline about that shit.
For real?
You can literally Google this shit too if you don't believe
That's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Lil Durk has a song with Nicki Minaj called Extravagant. You better know this.
I know because the barb's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, you don't know. Do your research.
Yeah.
You gotta do
No,
your research.
I think that might be true though, right?
That is true.
Yeah, I ain't never heard it.
Mm. Oh man,
It's okay.
It's alright. It's okay.
Is it good?
Yes, it's good. That's why I brought it up. I ain't gonna sing the lyrics right now, but because I want you to search this shit up. But
Like, was she singing or rapping? What she was doing?
do your research and find out.
She went under the Dirk act, did she? She used his flow.
I could tell you a little later.
Okay.
When an interviewer, I'm not saying that nigga name, but he know who he is. When an interviewer asked FBG Duck about his ex, he told him, "Don't call that bitch my ex. Just say that bitch."
That definitely sounds like something he'd say for
He
sure.
did do that.
Yeah, that's
You gotta do your research.
Yeah.
I would tell you the interviewer's name, but I'm not gonna even do that.
Right.
I'm not gonna say his name, but just do your research. You'll see what
y'all be beefing. The bloggers, y'all be beefing.
No, it's not even like that, and I'll break that down for you when this interview was done.
Okay.
Yeah, but all right.
You ain't trying to get him no clout, whoever he is.
He already got a name.
Oh.
Mellow Bucks' first big cosign was from Glorilla when she shared the Mouse Couture music video on her Facebook.
Now that is true.
All right, you finally know something about this shit.
Yeah, I saw that. I really like that. You know, I like Glorilla. She always for female empowerment. I think she's super dope.
Yeah. And the last thing that you may have to do research on, before it was Dirk in India, it was Dirk and Dage.
Yeah, it was Dirk and Dage.
Ah, you got it.
Beyonce. Yeah.
It's crazy because he literally met Beyonce, I think, earlier last week.
Oh yeah, he looked real happy too.
Yeah, and today is September 10th, so when I say earlier last week, just remember that for whenever this interview drops. But overall, You gotta do your research on a nice amount of things.
I'm gonna feel like Lil Reese. I'm gonna feel like.
All right. So you want to get back to the questions, or you want to play another game?
I want to play another game. I like the games. Let's play another.
I like the games too.
Yeah.
Now this one, you better know if it's true or not.
Ooh.
And I like to call this the on BD session.
Oh my God.
Now you saw Lil Reese's interview where he was like, on BD. You saw that?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming that you're not a BD, so I'm not going to encourage you to say on BD. But I'm going to ask you a series of true or false question. If the answer that you believe is false,
okay. Okay.
Alright, shout out to you again, Reese. Alright, you ready to see if you're going to get this shit right?
Yeah.
Alright. FYB J-Mane claims Offset wanted him removed from the studio because he wanted to know how long he was going to be talking to his wife, Cardi B.
I think that's true.
It is true.
Yeah.
Do y'all homework on FYB J-Mane putting on a Batman voice while quoting Offset. Alright.
That's funny.
I would impersonate him, but I'm not J-Mane. You can search that up. Alright, next question. Mama Duck, FBG Duck's mother, tried shooting her shot with THF Muda by calling him cute. Okay, you're right. That is false.
Yeah, nah.
She was mocking him for dissing FBG Duck in a song he got called GTA. When she said he was cute, she was referring as, you do all this tough shit, but you ain't get shot, you ain't got no war scars, X, Y, and Z, so you too cute for me. That's what Mama Duck said.
Yeah, they ops. She ain't ever about to do that.
Yeah, but do your homework on both of the DJU interviews. Shout out DJU Go Crazy. Alright, next question.
There you go.
Alright,
I'm
so...
gonna talk when you say something.
Alright, next question. FBG Dutchie's message to the youth is, stay out the street so you don't never have to snitch on nobody. True or false?
I think that's true.
It is true. He said it in the DJU TV interview.
Yeah.
All right, last question. Juice WRLD has once made a song where he disrespected Pasto.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's true. It's an unreleased song though, so this shit ain't out, but it's a song featuring G Herbo.
I don't know where I saw that at. I saw that somewhere though. Yeah.
Alright. No more games, Sisi.
Oh no.
I mean, it was fun though.
It was fun.
But not really. It's gonna be in the camera to do that.
Yeah, it's gonna be in the way.
Alright, so with that being said, time to get back to you. Now, before we get back to you though, would you like to make an introduction of who we got sitting on the couch next to you?
Huh.
Introduce yourself.
We got Jerky-O. Jerk.
Y'all know.
Go ahead, you can introduce yourself.
Y'all got Jerk in the building, man. Y'all ask whatever y'all want.
Camera
say
right
whatever
here.
Oh. I don't know why he's right here though. Y'all got Jerk in the building though. Whatever y'all want, y'all keep it gangster.
For sure. Alright. Now, alright, Mo. Now correct me.
Jerk is
Oh, go ahead.
my booking manager also. So just to let y'all know.
Watch out now, y'all.
I'm sorry about cutting you off, but yeah.
Apologies, I think. Alright, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but earlier when I was asking you where you're from, you said you was from Maywood and some out west, right? Okay, so some of out west. Now, you said you lived there for a couple of years, so how many years was it?
Probably like at least like 5, maybe 6, something like that.
5 to 6. Okay, it's all good, because either way, this question can still go for you. So, since you're from the west, what was it from out west of Chicago? How was it for you?
Just from being just of from the west side of Chicago.
Yeah, and spending your time living there.
It was cool. You know, like it wasn't bad. Everybody, for the most part of the time that I was out there, they got along. You know, everybody just say like the west side be more about getting money. You know.
Yeah, I heard that before.
Yeah, we be more about getting money and stuff, and we still know how to have a good time for the most part. Like, you can go on the block out west in the summertime and it's gonna be everybody having a party, and like it's music, it's cars, it's
lit.
the freak hoes outside. Everybody, it's lit. Like,
well, from what you described it as, it's pretty much a fun place.
at times.
At times, okay. Well, at times, even though it's a fun place, there has been a lot of complaints from the West Side, saying that they do not get enough recognition, and people only pay attention to out south. So, do you feel like that statement is true?
Yes. I do.
Now, do you want to elaborate on why you feel like it's true?
I mean, just if you really look at it, I just feel like the artists from out south just get more clout, when it come to people who get signed and things like that, it's more like south side artists that get signed, like even you shouted out Cole Bennett, like he mostly work with south side artists, like the G Herbos and the Juice WRLDs and like people like that.
G Herbo is not from the south side. He's from over east.
What is that? What's the difference?
So you don't think it's a difference between the south side and east side of Chicago?
I thought it was the same.
I mean, everybody from out west feel like over east is south side. Like we going south. Like what the like. We going south.
That's the first time I ever heard somebody from out west say that.
Alright. You ain't used to talk to more people from out west. I feel like a lot of us feel like over east. Ain't like over east like the south side?
I always thought.
You don't, y'all.
We be coming outside, we be like, man, we over east, it's crazy. Watch out.
What's the difference between? Stop. I don't know. That's all I'm saying. We feel like, but that's probably how the south side look at us too, though. Like once you get to a certain part, they probably feel like out west is out west, and if anything west is out west to them. Like that's why they got out west Illinois. That's why they call it out west Illinois. Like
they call it 290.
Right, exactly. They call it 290. Like, as soon as you hop on the 290, they just call everything 290.
You just get on 290.
But everything not the same, so you right. It's the same way. Dang, now you making me feel bad. I ain't know.
Nah, don't worry. It's all good. It's all good.
Much love to everybody.
All right. Well, another thing I learned about you while doing my research on you was that you're a songwriter as well.
Yes.
So, have you ever songwritten for someone?
I have definitely song written for people. Yeah. Different people.
All right. Now, what are the pros and cons of being a songwriter?
Ooh. Should I start with the pros or the cons?
Everyone you feel comfortable with.
Let's start with the pros.
All right, something sweet.
Yeah, because everything that glitter is not gold. So that's pretty much songwriting. I feel like to be a songwriter, you definitely have to have tough skin and definitely be a team player.
Sure.
You're gonna be in the background, so you just gotta hope that whoever you're working with has dignity enough to introduce you and like allow you to network. Some artists don't like for you to even speak on that you wrote for them. They just want you to be like a ghostwriter, which is understandable. But if you're gonna be a ghostwriter, then people gotta at least know who you are and what you there for. You don't want to be in a room and people wondering why you here.
Yeah.
So, but I would say pros is meeting a lot of people. I feel like you get in the door quicker being a songwriter because they look at you not as like competition. But if you say you're an artist and it's another artist in the room and you say you an artist and if you may be a little better, then you might get held back for that, like on the low. Like they might be like kind of try to keep you out of certain situations for the simple fact you saying you an artist too, so that automatically makes you competition. So if you're a songwriter, you're more there to help them versus compete with them, So
put you in a better position.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the pro of being a songwriter. You getting more doors saying that you're a songwriter versus saying you're an artist. because it don't seem like you in competition with other artists. And a lot of people like to work with songwriters because we continuously creating. You know, we always something for people to feed off of and stuff like that. Like we'll come in, like we different. We have to like I'm the type of person I like to listen to stories from everybody. Like I could listen to you, like you said you from 71st and you pretty much say you got a story to tell. Like I could listen to her, she could tell me something. I could build things off conversations from other people, you know, and I like to do things like that. So I like to get to know the artists that I work with. And I don't have to be their friend all the way, but I like to just get to know them. So when I'm writing something, I want to tailor it so that it fits them, you know. So when they go and they record the song, it can feel like, damn, I feel like I wrote this, like this sound like this for me, like, you know, like real customized. Like I like to customize my songwriting.
That's different.
Yeah, that's how I like to write. And like I said, like you get on all types of doors. You get they fly, like you get flued out. You get flued out. Shit, you get to eat for free. You get to record for free. Those are the pros. And you get royalties, all of that. Like you get paid, you get royalties, all of that. So I think those are big pros. And you still get to be low key, like you don't have to be in the limelight, so you can still enjoy your life without having to be in the limelight and stuff like that. So I think songwriting is cool for that aspect.
Cause you can go both ways with it. You can lay back, that's right, or you can participate too.
Cons. Let's get to the cons.
It's all some money for sure.
So you just gotta, you know, being a songwriter and stuff like that. You gotta understand you can't be friends with everybody. Like you gotta keep it business, and you gotta make sure that you do your business right from the beginning to the end. Once you make a song for somebody, you need to be trying to discuss split sheets and stuff like that almost after you leave the session. But a lot of times it don't happen that way. A lot of people end up having to have attorneys and stuff like that and do it that way, or they always split it at the end. But being a songwriter is definitely not easy. You have to have patience because you can write songs, you can write a whole project or work on a whole project with an artist, and they might not ever drop it. So I won't say put all your eggs in one basket when it comes to songwriting, even though artists be wanting to try to keep you to themselves because they don't want you to spread the sound and the sauce to other people. But it's like, if nothing coming out, then why would I stick here? It doesn't make sense, you know. You have to keep working and you have to keep doing you and don't feel bad about it, you know. Because people will make you feel guilty about certain things. People will make you feel guilty about speaking up on what you did. I feel like the urban genre, like R&B and rap, is like the only genre where people don't like to say that they had writers. Or people be like, I don't need nobody to write for me. Or I wrote this myself. Or they don't want you to like announce that you wrote something for them. You don't really hear that in rock. You don't hear that in country. Like if they use songwriters, they be happy to announce like they use this award winning songwriter. You know, like they'll put it out there, and I'll be feeling like the urban community don't like to do that. They don't like to give people like their flowers. So that's another thing that you have to definitely be cautious of. It's gonna be ups and downs. When you up, just treat everybody with dignity. Treat people how you want to be treated, and that's pretty much my that's just pretty much how I feel about being a songwriter.
With that being said, for you being someone who's been rapping for 9 years, would you consider yourself to be a veteran and or a legend at this point?
I definitely feel like, I'm a veteran. And yes, I definitely feel like I'm a legend. Like an unsung hero. I've definitely done things in the industry that I just don't brag about, you know. But I helped build like one of the top one of the top studios in the city where everybody's favorite rapper has made a song in the studio. And I won't say like if it wasn't there that song wouldn't be made, but who knows? You know, like who knows how it would have played out had that studio not been there. Also, I've learned a lot by being in the game for so long. I know the ups and downs, and like you said, like the pros and cons of being in the industry. It's not easy. It's not an overnight thing. Honestly, to be honest, I wouldn't want to get on overnight. I be feeling like people who get on overnight don't be having their shit together. And say how, like, I know people might be like, they don't be having their shit together. Their team don't be together. It be just a bunch of makeshift ass people that they just put in, you know, in position. And like, you notice a lot of people who get on quick fall off quick, and that be why. You know, you ain't really got no real team. You got like a manager who probably stealing from you and fucking your shit up all behind closed doors. You know, you got, I don't know, just I be feeling like people. I feel like I like my grind. It's a slow, steady grind, but I know that once I'm where I need to be, I ain't letting up.
All right. When it comes down to today's era of female rappers, women have already been told for the most part that to rap about sex is to get in the industry. But then later on, fans and sometimes celebrities or even the industry itself would always complain about how women is always rapping about sex. But now we got women who can blow up off drill rap, which is something different for males to hear. But then they're still complaining about women rapping about drill, saying leave this to the man and stay in the woman's place. So it's almost like sometimes people don't even know what they want to hear and what they don't want to hear. So it's like, man, pick one.
Right.
But the question is there anything wrong with how a woman is rapping for the industry or the music audience in general? Yes or no?
Is there anything wrong?
Yes, anything wrong with it? Yes or no?
No.
All right. Since the answer is no, why are people always complaining about how women should rap?
I think it just goes into beyond music. I just think it's a society thing. Nothing that a woman can do is ever gonna be good enough for society. You know, it goes beyond music. You could work at a job, and the people at your job, you could be the top worker at your job, but they still feel like you should be doing something better. You know, I mean, it took years for women to even be able to vote in America. Like women wasn't even allowed to vote when men was. So it's always something when it comes to women. Like, I don't know what it is. I just think that it's high expectations for women at all times. You know, I don't know if that's because we are the nurturers and we are we are who birthed humanity. So they hold us to, like, they expect us to do, you know, like more. That's what I think it be. It's always something with women though. We always catch flack for everything, you know.
So should the fans just deal with how women rap and just decide if they like the song or not?
Yeah, that's how I feel. Yeah, because I mean, they not doing that with men. You know, they're not doing it with the men artists. I just got into it with some people on social media because I posted something about that because I was seeing like people, I be feeling like people be hating on Sexyy Red. You know, I feel like they hate on her. She came up, she doing her thing, she getting to the bag, she talk about what she want to talk about.
Literally.
Like, yeah, and the thing about it, what I don't like is like people be like, oh, like her music, like especially the females, it's just like, really, a lot of y'all, she probably don't even be doing some of that stuff she talk about. Or maybe I was telling people like she probably had a phase, but I feel like a lot of females had a whole phase. And I don't even understand why they be trying to sit up here acting like they ain't never sucked a dick. Or they know they booty hole around too. You know what I'm saying? So what's the big deal? Like, she's not talking about killing nobody. Like you said, like, it's like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, you know? She's she like to party. She young. She like to have a good time. There's a lot of other females out here that's on the same type of way. Even the ones that act like they not. You know, I think people need to stop acting like they more than what they are. When really behind closed doors, they ass probably doing more dicks than she ever probably did. You know, so it's like stop trying to hold her accountable. And then I don't feel like people hold the guys accountable for making like the drill music and stuff like that. Like murder music, like serial killer music. Like this is what's out. Y'all don't have nothing to say. Y'all tuck tail about what they talk about. They talk about killing people and they say other loved ones' names in their music, you know? Nobody never really say that much about that, but they turn around and be like, oh man, ban Sexyy Red or ban these hoes and man, what? Like, I don't get it. Like, we gotta have the same energy or just shut up. That's how I look at it.
As you should. And I understand and can agree with a lot of parts in your statement. Alright. Well, another thing that, well, this is another segment to get this clear. Well, this is another thing that the Chicago Wave does is check on people's health. So that's why in this segment I call it the health check segment.
Okay.
So I understand how people may view bloggers. Like a lot of bloggers don't care. They be trying to push the negative air. And the negative narrative, or they be just trying to put all the bullshit, and they just be labeling certain people any old type of name, and it's like bloggers can potentially fuck the internet up. But that's only some bloggers. There are other bloggers who tend on promoting positive shit too. Like they'll point out all the good shit about you before they promote all the flaws. So that way they don't try to destroy characters and anything.
Right.
And although as a blogger, that's how I've been viewed as for about a lot of people.
What they say, you point out the negative?
Yeah, like I don't post shit positive, but it's like go on my highlight session, you're gonna see I promote a lot of positive content here. So I don't get why y'all think I only care about the game banging and shit when it's like but that's a story for another day.
That's the only part they pay attention to.
You know, people, you can never make people happy.
Yes. But that's not the whole point of it. The point of me bringing that is we in the Chicago Wave, we understand rappers are also humans.
Right.
We understand that they live a life like how we live a life. It's just they just do something musically so talented and giftedly, we don't pay attention to that often.
Right.
They might be going through whatever and we just don't know. So, with that being said, where are you at mentally right now, Miss Dior?
Mentally, I'm at a place where I want to be the best that I can be. I really took myself out of the world per se, as far as like hanging out a whole lot. Like I don't do a whole lot of that. Like I really went into like a shell and practicing self-preservation. So I've been preserving myself for myself and focusing more on myself, because I am the type of person who can stretch myself thin, trying to be there for every single situation. And I've learned that I can't do that. And that definitely is stressful and can, become depressing. So I'm cool. Like I'm happy. I'm in a state of rebirth. That's where I'm at.
State of rebirth. That's a nice way to put it. Yeah. I often hear people say that, so I like to hear that you're doing good.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they grow up, and while growing up, they always hear older people, or maybe parents, maybe teachers, maybe strangers, maybe uncles,
right? Just
anybody older than them trying to give them advice because they're just kids at the time. But they don't understand that what the adults are trying to tell them is that this is some shit you need to prepare for in the future. But you don't understand yet because you're a kid. You can only handle so much. When you fully grow up, you'll understand though. But I like to say that my generation or the generation before mine, they grew up hearing that same advice and don't listen at all. So it's like they don't take none of the messages that they're trying to tell them. But a lot of us is growing up, and we got different state of minds from how we was back then as kids. Which is why in this segment, I like to call it the message for the youth. So, with that being said, you've grown up, you've seen life for what it is as a child, and you definitely see what it's like now. And who knows what else you're gonna deal with in the future.
Right.
So, with that being said, you gain experience, wisdom, knowledge, all that. So, for the next generation below you, coming up, growing up, trying to see what it is in this game we call life, what's your message for the youth?
My message for the youth is be yourself. You know, right now I feel like the generation is it's like a follow the leader type of generation where like if one person make a TikTok dance, everybody want to do the same TikTok. Like it's just like so everybody just kind of following each other. Like if one person dressing a certain type of way, you're gonna look up and not everybody dressing the same type of way. I just feel like be yourself, be original, never try to fit in to what's not you, you know? Just because we might be from a city that's known as drill or a city that's known for violence don't mean that you have to partake in it, you know? Like try to live beyond that and like try to be peaceful. Like we need the youth. The youth is the future, so we need more educators, we need more scientists, we need more people that's into tech. Like doing music is cool, being an athlete is cool, all that's cool. That's a quick way of getting to the bag depending on how you do it. But I feel like stay in school, stay educated, reading is definitely fundamental. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also credit credit is definitely a thing that is very important, and I don't feel like a lot of people stress that enough. Like you can have a whole lot of cash, but if you ain't got credit, that don't mean nothing. Cash doesn't mean anything if you don't have credit. You won't even be able to get a house for real unless you're just gonna put $250,000 on a house, which is cool too. But at the same time, that's like not a smart financial decision. That's it.
If you were talking to your younger self, like if you could see your younger self in front of you right now, and you could tell your younger self something that could get her to take her own advice, and this was your message, do you think the younger version of you would take that advice?
Yeah, I do. I do. I think I would have took that advice. Like I wish somebody would have told me half the things that I learned just by growing up. You know, like yeah, like with me, really pretty much almost raising myself for the most part. I had to learn everything. I won't say the hard way, but definitely wasn't the easy way, and I definitely wasn't told a lot of things. I wasn't taught a lot of things, so I had to learn on my own. So yeah, I always wish I had like a big sister or like, you know, another like, I won't say, I do have a mother figure, but I wish I would have had like another mother figure too. Yeah.
You think there's a way we can... Go ahead.
Nah, you good.
You think there's a way we can get the youth of today's generation to listen? Or they just gotta learn on their own?
They not gonna listen. They have to learn on their own. But I feel like that's really the best way to learn is to learn on your own, because like you said, you could tell somebody something all you want to tell them, but like you said, if they can't relate to it, if they young, they don't understand what you're saying, they be like, oh, okay. Well, they be ready to get back in their phone, ready to get back in those group message texts, or you know, whatever, like go play the game, like whatever else that they want to do, go roll up, whatever they want to do, they gonna just go do that. They not really gonna be paying attention to what you're saying. Like really, it's like you saying it, it's going in one ear and it's coming out the other until they have to learn. That's why most people say to grow old is to grow wise. You know, that's why gray hairs and stuff start to show in certain people. Those people are wise.
All right. For this next segment, I call it to give credit where it's due. And basically, you know there's a lot of rappers that exist. But it's not often that these rappers feel like they're getting credit for being rappers. It's not even just that credit. Sometimes they don't feel like they get recognized by other people. Like some people might want to work with the next person, but they don't know how they feel about them.
Right.
So this is a chance where we be honest about that. So I'm just gonna ask you about some artists here, if you know of them, and just say at least one thing positive about them. Just
Okay.
one thing positive. Say.
All right.
All right, ready. Chief Keef.
Chief Keef is the reason why drill is drill.
Salute to him. Mama Million.
I just kind of caught on to her wave. I like her music. Like she got that music for like the parties and stuff. Like to have a good time. I rock with her. I think she's talented.
All right. Korporate.
He a comedian, right?
You get offended if you say that to him. Like he'll really get offended if you say that to him.
For
But
real?
I mean, he don't get that offended, but he likes to call himself an entertainer when it comes to that.
Oh, he's an entertainer. Yeah, artist.
Corporate. But yeah, that man actually be rapping.
Oh,
Were you aware of that?
not really.
Do your
Do my
homework.
research. Yeah.
Do your homework on Corporate, dropping a whole debut project.
He is.
He did.
I'm sure he did.
He did. He just dropped one
He got
called
some
The
features
Proposal.
on there.
He got King Louis on there.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
But yeah, he dropped the whole project. Do your homework when you get the chance. But anything positive you can say about him?
Yeah. I like what he doing for the entertainment industry of Chicago. Like he definitely shedding light to that we more than just, violent and stuff like that. Like he's a entertainer, he funny, and like you said, he can rap.
You should still do your homework on his music.
I will.
Of course, I'm going to shout out Corporate. Last one, Lupe Fiasco.
1st and 15. I believe he from out west, so I definitely got a big shout out to him. He was like one of the first like artists that was coming out like right along with like Kanye and like when they had they wave, like when Kanye, Twista, Common, and all them had they wave. Lupe was right there too.
Of course.
He can rap. He definitely a legend in his own. I don't think a lot of people could touch him for real. And I think sometimes I feel like he kind of underrated too though. Like as far as like when people mention artists from Chicago, I don't feel like they don't say his name enough. I think that they should say his name a little more. Just like right up there with all the other old school legends, like the people how they be seeing like the Twisters and all that. Like he right up there with them too.
Then I'll make sure I keep asking other artists to give credit where it's due for Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
All right. Now, leaning towards the end of this. Well, I'm not gonna say the end because I will definitely interview you again. We gonna definitely talk about more topics as time goes on, and we can as soon as possible. But before we end it off here, I gotta ask you this, and this is something a segment I call the Chicago Wave Feedback. Now, I'm a blogger, and to my Instagram, I'm a blog page, but outside of that, I ain't shit. I'm just a nigga. Like, literally, I'm just a nigga behind this shit. But yet, the Chicago Wave had to be a name so big, people think they love the page / the person behind it. So it's like, damn, I ain't do shit but live and post y'all. But I do appreciate it. But I still want to know just a couple more things about you when it comes down to me. And you be as brutally honest as you can. So, I want to ask you, why do you support the Chicago Wave? Of all people, of all blogs, why us? Why do you support us?
I would like to say I like your vibe and like I like how you not afraid, you unapologetic on everything, whether it's questions, whether it's a post, whatever the case may be. you gonna do what you wanna do. And you don't let people sway you. Don't get me wrong. You hear the opinions and you try to fix it if you feel like you could. But at the same time, you still yourself. And that's cool about you. Like, you wasn't standoffish. You didn't walk in here acting like you was the president. You know, like I like genuine people who still act normal, you know. And I feel like you are like a people person type blog. Like, you don't mind taking it to the trenches, but you could take it to the red carpet too. And I like how you had that duality.
Thank you. Well, if it's not too much to ask, what's one thing that you like about the Chicago wave? Like, you just personally like?
I like how you post new artists. Like, people get to, like, especially like on social media and stuff like that. Like, I like how the page, it posts new artists, so you get to know about people that you probably wouldn't have ran across had you not ran to your page. And so, you know, I definitely added people off your page, off seeing their videos and stuff, who I felt like they had dope music.
Alright, that's something about the work I do and the people that I promoted. Alright, now, is there anything you don't like about the Chicago wave? And you can be honest here. Don't just say it just because I'm in front of you. Be honest. You can let me have it. And besides, it ain't gonna be nothing personal. This is all feedback. So something you don't like.
Nah, it's really not even bad. You're not bad as a person. Like, you're not a cornball. You didn't ask no corny questions. You know, like, it's some bloggers that's corny. I ain't gonna say their name, but they ass be corny as hell. They ain't even from Chicago though. It's just some that's from different cities that be trying to speak on Chicago. Like, I like for bloggers to speak on what they know, you know, not what they don't. You're not one of those, so you good in my book. I don't have nothing bad to say about you. You came on time, professional, you know, so.
Okay. Alright. Well, if it's nothing you don't like, then is there anything we can do that can make it better for you?
Keep promoting me. Nah, that's about it. Nah, you good. I don't have nothing bad to say.
Well, I wouldn't even want to call it bad. All I look at this as feedback. Like,
feedback?
Yeah. And I've got some feedback from others who have gotten on my ass about a couple of things.
Really?
Yeah, but it's all feedback. And besides, that just helped me learn to do better.
Was it worth it? Like,
Oh, of course it was worth it. It was just little shit, but I still gotta learn from. Like I said, I'm still learning these interviews. I just started doing this after 2 years of people begging me to do it. So I'm just now starting and learning. So, but all this is just for me to improve, or if I can just hear just personal thoughts, and I appreciate it. And yeah, this was a very fun interview, and this does not have to be the last fun interview.
Sure.
So at some point we're gonna get part 2 on the way. I'm gonna let you know about that. I'll schedule everything like how we scheduled this.
Right.
But overall, they haven't seen the last of Sisi Dior. So, with that being said, we'd like to shout out anybody, and while shouting everyone else out, shout yourself out. Instagram, where they find you at, Facebook, Snapchat, whatever it is you use.
Well, y'all can find me, Sisi Dior, SISI _ Dior, or SISI Dior. That's pretty easy. Shout out Jerk. You know, she the one help set this up.
Salute to you, Jerk.
Booking manager. Shout out Xavier. He's my producer / engineer. We part own this studio that we actually sitting in right now. Shout out Jono, my little sister, Gina, Jessica, Jess, Shariah, Bray.
Don't forget Creative Meals by Shaw.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Creative Meals by Shaw.
For sure.
Jerk just put me on to that literally just now. And if you ain't in there, what the fuck is you eating? You better make sure I'm trying to tell you. I'm finna start posting that. That's because it's my favorite restaurant. You better do your homework. Like, for real. But yeah, though.
Shout out Joe. Shout out Luna Society Studios. The list could go on, but I ain't about to overdo it. But shout out my son too. My son look up to you too. He was like, "You ain't never on the way. You on the Chicago way." My son.
Oh hell no! That's the first I've heard from anyone. Oh, you gotta introduce us when you get the time.
Yeah, my son was too geek. He like, "You ain't never the Chicago way posted you." I'm like, "Yeah." He like, "I'm next." So he kind of want to start getting into the music too. So shout out my son Darian. You know, he looks up to y'all. He looks up to you and your blog site and everything. So.
You want to ask me something?
Oh yeah, definitely. Is there anyone you want to shout out personally, or anything you want to talk about?
I want to shout out Sisi Dior. She up there.
Of course.
Y'all sleep on her.
Nah, for real.
When she come through the door, y'all gonna know. I'm telling you.
We gonna wake him up.
Ain't nothing she got boring. Y'all follow her, Joe. Tell them once again.
Sisi Dior, SI underscore Dior, SI space Dior, DIOR, just in case like you don't know how to spell it. I hope y'all know how to spell that now. But
Yeah, we all. So, all right. Well, that concludes this. So, have a good day.
for sure.
We'll see you again on the wave.
Yep.
All right. Peace.